Hi there, welcome to Kapow Wow Cook. Today we're going to do a spaghetti pasta dish. It's going to be like a creamy mushroom with a bit of cheese on top, okay? So what I've done, I've quickly started cooking for about 4 minutes my spaghetti, okay? So I've started that because that will take the longest, okay? So that's been cooking for about 4 or 5 minutes. I'll put it up a little bit higher, okay? So that now has been cooking for 4 minutes. What do you need? You need to put this on. Make sure that starts to warm up at a fairly low heat. Now what we're going to do first, you obviously need your mushrooms. So what we need mushrooms, onions. I've got a bit of chicken with pepper in. I put pepper in there. I've used a bit because I've tried to make it really healthy. And then I'm going to add like this sandy cheese. Very good and strong. Okay, like Mr. Chris. So we're going to throw that in as well. And I've got my thyme plant, so I'm going to put some thyme in there to add a bit of oomph. Okay, so let's start. So now what we're going to do first, let's brown the mushrooms off. So that sizzle, when you hear that, that's the water from the mushrooms coming out. Okay, so just move, you don't need any oil at this moment in time, just let that just fry up and get it up really high as you can. Okay, so by frying it, that basically is flavour. Okay, so we're going to get the flavour, and then in about 2 or 3 minutes we're going to put that in. And really, it's really quick. You could cook this for 10 minutes, 15 minutes if you want, but I'm just showing you very quickly this. Okay, so throw that, just let that move around. You could add a bit of butter. I might put some butter in there to add a bit of flavour in. Let's get a bit of butter in there. So add it up, because butter does add a bit of flavour to that. Look at that, boom. Okay. So we'll put some butter in there. Be careful it doesn't burn. Look at that. Oh. Now, so we'll move that around, and that'll just add a bit of flavour. Okay. So just make sure that this spaghetti isn't cooking too quickly, because we don't want that overcooked either. So look at that. So now we've got mushrooms. So just fry that 3 or 4 minutes. Smells great. Smell that. Oh yeah. Absolutely kapow wow. So now that is kind of cooking. Now you could cook this for longer. I'm just really just showing you a quick, fairly healthy dish. You don't need butter there. You could have, if you want to, you could add a bit of water. But like I say, there is water coming out of those mushrooms, which is what we heard before when it was cooking. Okay, keep an eye on that spaghetti. Now obviously the more, you could add more mushrooms, you could add many vegetables to this. I made this the other night. I add carrots and sweet corn, and now, because that's cooking really good, you could cook that a bit longer, but like I say, I want to show how quick and easy that this is. Okay, okay, I'll give it a bit more, because really, it's a quick dish. The longest part of this is the spaghetti, okay? So, there we go. So give that a good mix. Now I'm going to put the onions in. And again, you want these to cook, because if we just put the onions in at the end, they'll be very hard and we don't want that. So make sure you get all the onions in. Now what we're going to do, just cook that for a good 3 or 4 minutes. And that's really it. What we're doing now, make sure all this softens. Look at that, that's amazing. I've got cooked chicken. I'll show you the chicken that I've got as well. So this is the chicken which I love to buy at the moment, and it's already made. It's like a smoky chicken, really good, so you don't need to cook, save yourself time. You could do it without meat, you could do it with vegetables. Okay, look at that, hey, Carlo likes that. So now that's starting to just cook and soften. Let's turn it down a bit, okay, because when we add the cream, we're going to add the cream, we've got to make sure we don't add too much at the same time. But let's have a look at the spaghetti. So that spaghetti now, oh, that's looking really good. If it is ready, we'll take it out. Let's see. Right. I put lots of salt in there, okay? That's what you need to do. So what I'm going to do is go to take this out, because overcooked spaghetti is not very good. So what I'm going to do, just move this over here. Okay, and let that cook as it is. Okay. And just make sure you keep some of the pasta sauce as well. So I'm just going to empty this, and we need to just be careful when we're doing this. Okay, and I'll just show you what I've done there. Okay, so what I have done is, have a look at this, I've just left a little bit of water in there so I can use that later, so it's not cooking too much. This really is now smelling really good. So what we can do is, look at that, it's really good, look at that. So we've got a nice flavour. So make sure we don't want the cream to burn. So what we're going to now, put the cream in, and look at that, boom. Mix that around. You can add a bit of water if you want as well. Sometimes I do that. Okay, and this is where it's pretty easy. You can throw your chicken in. Now what's really good with this, make sure it's not burning too much. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to put a bit of water in there, okay? Because if it burns, I don't want that. So I'm just going to put a bit of water in there so it doesn't burn, okay? Now that is cooked. The chicken's cooked, everything's cooked. So now at this point, I don't need to worry, okay? The spaghetti's ready. What we need to do is get some thyme. Now thyme, you can use other things, okay? So thyme is like that, and just if you just pull down like that, like that, and just pull it down, you'll pull the little leaves off, and they add so much flavour. It's really good. Look at that. And like I say, if you get a few of the sticks in, it doesn't really matter. Okay, and then I'm going to do that, and look at that. That's a really quick. Like I say, the longest part of this, when you pull these, make sure you pull them down. Okay, like that, and there you go. So we've got a bit of thyme in there. Oh, look at that. So really, look at that cream. Like I say, so obviously if you put more mushrooms in, you might need to add more cream. Okay, so that's really good. I'm going to put a little bit more thyme in. So get these. You can use ones from the boxes which you get in the supermarkets as well. But that's basically it. So what you do now, once you've done that, you add your spaghetti to it. So it doesn't really, you can just mix them in like that if you want as well. Doesn't really matter. There you go, boom. Right, so look at that. So that is basically it. So we'll turn it off. And then what we do, always, I don't know why people don't mix it, but I do prefer it when you do it like that. Okay? And then you get a good mix. So if you've got too much spaghetti, you can maybe, yeah, use that for later, make some more and use it for tomorrow. But look at that. That's, now I'm just mixing that in. And then just to finish that off, I'm going to put a bit of cheese in there and mix that in. Okay, like that, and look at that. You've still, it does look a bit like carbonara, okay, but we're using cream, and like Carlo doesn't like that. And make sure you get the meat and everything all mixed around. So let's have a look. Wow, 7 minutes. This is like Speedy Gonzales. So we're going to get our plate like that, make sure it's nice and tidy, and put this on. And this is really good. I do like this. It's a very quick, healthy dish. Like I say, quite a lot of cream, but you could use sweet corn in there. You could. We've got onions in there. You could. We've got mushrooms in there, haven't we? I've done this with. You want to see those mushrooms as well, because before you eat, you do sometimes judge with what you see. And look at that. That's really spaghetti everywhere. Let's get a bit more of that chicken on there as well. But you definitely want to see those mushrooms. Okay, and then we're going to finish it. Move that on there and sprinkle that. And then, okay, and as we always do, put that pepper on top, and that, as you can tell, a very quick, easy, creamy mushroom spaghetti. Try it, do it, and eat it!